Hello guys, welcome to this channel, Scientific Africa. I am Daniel. And if this is the first time you're coming across our videos, please do well to subscribe to this channel so that when next we drop video like this, you wouldn't miss it. Just like I said in the previous video, we have a couple of projects that we'll be bringing to the table, and it is something I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to miss. So in today's video, we'll be so brief in discussing more in details about resistors. So in today's video, we'll be talking about resistors in much more details, right? And in doing that, first of all, we redefined resistors. What are the resistors? Resistor is that electrical or electronic component that limits the flow or controls the flow of electric current, or has the ability to oppose the flow of electric current in a circuit. So anything that has that capacity to oppose the flow of electric current, we call them resistors, and they have their very important uses in electronics and in circuit implementations. So in today's video, we will be so specific, having defined the resistor and what resistor is. We are going to further our discussion around resistor by letting you know that we have like three basic types of resistors. One, we have the fixed resistors, we have the variable resistors, and we have the specialized resistors. So these are the three basic resistor types that we want you to know going forward from today. All right, the fixed resistors, they are those resistors whose resistances are fixed, right? Still, do not forget that SI unit of resistance is the ohms. That's why we can actually say that a resistor has the resistance of 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 kilo ohm, 4 kilo ohm, and the rest of things like that. So what I'm holding here, I don't know, but I'm going to find a way to flash it on the screen. What I'm holding here is actually 1 kilo ohm resistor. Then it is a fixed, it's the type of resistor that is fixed. It is 1 kilo ohm everywhere. If you're designing circuitry, possibly you want to kind of maybe light an LED with 9-volt battery, and you know that the current will be too much for the LED. So what you're going to do is to find a way to drop some voltages, right, and limit the flow of electric current. Okay, and that is where you make use of maybe this fixed resistors. 1K resistor is a fixed type of resistor. So after this, we have the variable resistors, and this is one type of variable resistor. We equally have another one that is very small like this. Then you can actually kind of increase or decrease the resistance of the resistor. It simply does mean that their value is not fixed, right? If this is 10 kilo ohm resistor like 104, if it is 10 kilo ohm resistor, it simply does mean that you can actually get 10 ohm resistor from this, you can get 1 kilo ohm resistor from this, you can get 3 kilo ohm resistor up to 10 kilo ohm, which is the maximum rating from the the manufacturer specification, right? So it is variable, it varies, and that's why if you want to make use of 1 kilo ohm and you are not you don't have this handy, you can make use of this 10 kilo ohm that is variable. Then you use your ohm meter to read while you are adjusting it until you get to 1K that you need. Then you stop it there. For you to be sure that it will remain there, you can actually use gum to hold it, and that's why we call them variable resistors. So they have their own wonderful applications. The last in our types of resistor is the specialized resistors, and this is actually where I'm going to dwell a little bit more. We have the specialized type of resistors, and these are the resistors whose resistances depend on some physical element in our environment, say maybe the light intensity or something like maybe the temperature of an environment, right? So we call them specialized resistors because their resistances increases or decreases with respect to the physical environmental changes, right? So we have the light dependent resistors like what I'm holding here. So we call them light dependent resistors because their resistance is either increase or decrease depending on the light intensity from the sun falling on this their plate. All right, so sometimes you might be wondering, why is it that the street lights that you have in your neighborhood at night, they will just come up on their own? Maybe in the morning time they will go off. What kind of magic is that? Who controls it and all of those things? That is where you find application of this light dependent resistor. We're actually going to kind of implement each and every one of those things as time progresses, but it is important we understand what they are first of all before we go into the application and the implementations, right? So that is that about that. We equally have, among the specialized resistors, we have the temperature dependent resistors, otherwise known as thermistors, right? So these ones, they depend on the temperature of the environment. As temperature is increasing, their resistance is either increasing or decreasing depending. And that is where we now have another two types of these temperature dependent resistors, and we have them as NTC thermistors and PTC thermistors. The NTC, the negative temperature coefficients, simply works in reverse direction. How do I mean? If the temperature of the environment is actually increasing, the resistance of the thermistor is reducing or is decreasing. So that's why we call them thermistors. And then we have the other type that as the temperature is increasing, their resistance is equally increasing, and we call them the PTC. So we can actually make use of them in a kind of implementing something like fuses, but I'll let you understand that better when we start implementing. So if you have watched from the beginning to the end of this video, in recap, we said the resistor is electrical component that can offer some level, or that offers some level of opposition to the flow of electric current. And we equally went further to say that we have three types of resistors. We have the fixed resistor, we have the variable resistors, and we have the specialized resistors. And we said that inside specialized resistors, we have the light dependent resistors and we have the temperature dependent resistors. And inside the temperature dependent resistor, we have the PTC and we have the NTC, right? So this is what we want you to understand, and having watched from the beginning to the end of this video, trust me, you are far more better than 90% of the people living in your neighborhood. Yes, I'm not kind of exaggerating anything, but I am sure that at the end of this video, if you come across a panel, you will be able to point at something, a component, and say that this is a resistor. Not only that you're going to say it's a resistor, you're actually going to be able to say this is a specialized resistor, this is variable resistor, this is what is it called, this is a fixed resistor. Like if I bring the panel of that our clapper switch, right, I'm sure you're going to be able to identify at least 2 to 3 types of resistors I've mentioned in this video. So thanks for watching, and do well to share and subscribe. Thank you.